Join us for a driving review of the Mercedes GLS V8. Let's go! Here in the front, the new GLS generation. You can see here a very strong front grille. Yeah, really massive indeed. Horizontal fin stand here. In the lower part, it looks like it would be all air intake, but it's not. It's closed here in the lower area. LED multi-beam is standard, so also with the special high beam function then. So this new GLS generation is 2 centimeters wider, but also 7.7 centimeters or 3 inches longer, now at 5 meters 20 or 205 inches. And wheels come from 19-inch to 23-inch. So a 21-inch wheel, as we have right now, is a good compromise. Yeah, the size of wheels have just gone nuts recently, and I can really say together with the air suspension, which is standard, the 21-inch wheels also work indeed. In the rear we can see the most drastic design change here for this new generation, more horizontally drawn tail lamps, and this looks definitely more modern and also in line with smaller SUVs at Mercedes, for example. Under the hood, there's either the GLS 450 3-liter inline 6-cylinder, 367 horsepower, or the GLS 580, here today 4-liter V8 twin-turbo, 489 horsepower, 700 newton meters of torque. We'll talk about differences later. All-wheel drive with the rear-wheel bias, and all petrol engines are now mild hybrid. Very interesting. And diesel side in Europe would be 350D, or the 400D, both 3-liter inline 6-cylinder, 286 or 330 horsepower. Beautifully at the inside of the doors, matte wood, really nice, and then the seat controls, and here the matte wood with the sunlight on it. That looks really amazing. Artico cover here at the inside of the doors, high-grade leatherette, reasonable door pockets. Then this interior with the dual screen setup, soon more about the infotainment. Steering wheel, left side for the cruise control, right side for volume. Then you have these buttons also for the thumbs to control the left or the right screen. Here, seating setup, different colors are available. In the GLS 450 you can pick the Artico high-grade leatherette, animal-free, in black, beige or brown. This would also be way to go for the GLS, and sadly the V8 is not offered with that. And also in Europe they made a drawback with the Artico now. So that's a big difference also with the GLE, where you can get more seating alternatives which are more sustainable, not anymore for the GLS. But most customers will go for the GLS 450 and the Artico seats, so it's still somewhat okay. Now let's get inside, also with the shoe tab. And remember, when I talk about Artico seats in Europe, the brand name for the US is usually then MB Tex. Here, sitting upright, great seating position, so really very comfortable, so you can just enjoy that all the time. 1.86 meters or 6'1", still enough headroom. This is equipped with the small glass roof right there. Welcome to this interior with a very central setup, and 12.3 inch, 2 times these screens form one unit, and then matte wood right here. You also have this matte wood area right here. Really like that. Very central setup. Cannot stress enough. Here it becomes red when you put it on the warmer, blue on a colder temperature. The ambient light, you can also see it while we are on the motorway in the tunnel. This will be very interesting for sure. Then the steering wheel again with a good compact size. Soon more details to each of these screens. Then in the lower part you can slide this one open, have the USB connections 2 times to the smartphone, also inductive charging, but Apple CarPlay and Android Auto work via cable anyway. Cup holders here. They're adaptive and also cooled or heated on demand. That's a nice functionality, not new, but still good to have it. Then you have this touchpad where you can also control the infotainment system, or you do that with your right thumb on the right or left thumb for the left screen. You have also hotkeys, and then you can stiffen up the suspension or also put the air suspension higher or lower on demand, but that's also connected to the driving modes. And then you have this middle armrest. You can open it like this, and then you have the USB-C connectors right there and some cubby hole. The digital instruments look like this. Actually quite nice as for the resolution and also for the overview. You can change also the individual contents left and right and so on. And then you also can change the whole styling if you like. So for example here you can go to some sports gauges, so depending on which styling you like best. And for the middle part, probably the most useful thing is then also the GPS view, like this, either directions or the whole map, or then the map all over the place. And then we have the head-up display, which is really extremely huge. So on camera it's rather deceiving, because for real life it's, for your human eye it's even bigger. And the speed, current speed, allowed speed, and also the GPS information right there in your line of sight. Then more deals to the infotainment system, either controlled with the lower touchpad with the right thumb touchpad, or then here with touch on the inside. That's of course the biggest news. GPS looks like this, is quite responsive enough. Here the BMW GPS system also is a little bit more responsive. Hey Mercedes, drive me to Berlin. So GPS input would be also the most usable function here for the new MBUX system, but you can also, of course, do more things with that. How long it takes, it really depends on the web connection. The better the web connection is, the faster it will actually go. Then the new main menu right here is actually quite nice. If you have the optional massage seats, you can hear hot relaxing back, shoulder, activating massage, activated also in high intensity for driver and for the passenger, and depending on where you come from or where you hover it around, then usually the car also realizes which seat you want to activate at first. Ambient lighting here, of course, always full color blue, and the brightness all the way up. Again, you can very well see that here in our tunnel part in the driving review. Then, and the Apple CarPlay here is the integrations here. There comes some space left right there, and the Burmester sound system, the optional one. It's really nice, quite clear. So also one more luxury feature. And now to this rear seating area, and what I've done is the following. Here in this seat here I pulled it all the way backwards, also controls at the inside of the doors like it is in the front. These are here the individual captain's seats. You can also get a bench that goes all the way through. In the US, this setup here, the 6-seater setup with captain seats, is standard. And you pick the 7-seater, the bench. And in Europe, for example, the bench is standard, also in Germany, and then you pick the 6-seater as an option. Yeah, interesting. You can also control it here, for example, put it a little bit more in the back, the backward of the seat, but here it leans a little bit backwards, so it doesn't feel so much as an individual captain seat. And now I folded this seat down that you can actually see what I'm doing. And the cool thing, the kids will always enjoy that you can just clinch through the middle tunnel here. Yeah, when you're not a kid anymore, there's not too much space, but anyway, this is possible. Behind the seat, as it would be all the way back, there's no space for me anymore, but this would be the seat when it's drawn all the way forward. And then I can squeeze myself behind it. Also have to put the head restraints up here that I can probably fit in there. And this is, really close. Trunk area, maximum of 2,400 liters or 83 cubic feet if you fold everything. Here you can even put this cabin trolley in an upright way inside. So this is then the trunk when all the seats are up. And as for the measurements, looking here, the length then, to the middle part here, there's about 53 centimeters, and to the side part, 56. Here, the width, this is a meter, classic. And you see it's wider than the meter right here. And 6th and 7th seat, or 5th and 6th seat, depending on the setup. Then you can fold them electrically. And, it takes some time, but it is really a very comfortable solution like this. This is then the the last row, and then you really have already a very, very long trunk, and everything also very good from the build quality. This is a length then of 1.25 meters, and this on the right side here for this one. On the other side you can press these two in, and these are the captain seats, and this is the big advantage if you compare the BMW X7, for example. These individual captain seats, they are not that elaborated as in the X7. As for their setup, they are more like normal bench-alike with the middle left out, but then they can be folded. This is a big, big advantage, and probably also a reason to not go for the captain seats in the X7. Welcome to Thomas's Driving Lounge with the Mercedes GLS, and I promised you to take it on the German motorway because we tested it first time in Utah in the US, and it was an amazing ride, definitely. And what a beautiful landscape. Not the desert Utah, but more like the Salt Lake close Utah. And here we have the possibility to floor it out, whereas in the US we could test other things. From 50 kilometers an hour, flying start, let's go. Plop, that's 200 kilometers an hour or 125 miles per hour. Yeah, switching a lane is not a good idea then when such a GLS tank is approaching. And wow, that was amazing power of that V8 engine. Whee. Okay, that's where you feel a difference, V8 and the inline 6. But you've also seen in the other video we have from the inline 6-cylinder. It also has a decent performance, definitely. Here, of course, even more, better V8 sound. What is interesting, when we put it to this curve mode of the E-active body control and dual lane change, the car really remains upright. And for such a heavy SUV with the air suspension, really unusual, but interesting then in this driving characteristic. So when we put it to the comfort mode, then you would definitely see, yeah, it leans a little bit more, like shakes a little bit up more. But still, even in the comfort mode, it remains relatively upright. At the same time, you have really good comfort. So I think they found a good suspension setup here. The curve mode is not really necessary, and it's also an additional extra. So I think you can save the money right there. With the GLE, it makes more difference. It really makes the car lean inside the corner. But once again, I feel normal air suspension, leave it like it is. Don't add extra any more complexity to it. The E-active body control has, like this special feature that you can move individual wheels and so on for off-road situations, or like this, shaking free in the sand. But usually, most of the time, you don't really need it. Nice ambient lighting here also while driving. You can see it from the perspectives all the way around the vehicle. One of the best ambient lightings at the moment under the screen, and also then here in the central way. Putting it warmer, then you see it turns to red. Putting it colder, it turns to blue anyway. But yeah, I've set it always to blue, of course, Thomas Blue. And then yeah, this is a really nice feature they added here. So sometimes, and then when you, for example, activate the seat massage, let's go here to the comfort settings, and then hot relaxing back, hot relaxing shoulder, activating massage, classic massage, activating massage, maybe they don't fall asleep, and you think just, why don't I just keep driving, like wherever, just keep driving with no destination or something. And one more time, while I still enjoy the activating massage. Come into Sport, then to Sport Plus mode. RPMs are turned up higher, gears are already lower, and when we are already at speed, 1 kilometers an hour, let's put this rolling activating massage once again to speed. Let's go. That's 200 kilometers an hour. 125 miles per hour, so as well 60 to 125 miles. And what about some city driving here with the GLS? And first of all, you have to say, for European roads, it's really too big. So when I think about parking in and out of a basement garage or something,
You really have to go like front, back, front, back, front. And it's like, will I ever get out here? So yeah, and I mean, in the US at least, you know, in the non-New England states, you have enough space also to move this beast around here, definitely. The V8, of course, gives you also a lot of calmness when you just keep it, you know, rolling and so on, and you can keep it really at low RPM. But then again, it's not the biggest difference then to the V6. That would be more than, you know, what we experienced on the motorway. But if you think about the fuel economy then, here like 13.5 liters on 100 kilometers is a realistic consumption value, and that would be about 18 mpg US or 22 mpg UK. And if you then think about that, the 6-cylinder is quite efficient, and you can rather drive it with 9 to 10 liters on 100 kilometers, so about like 6-7 miles per gallon more. Yeah, and also the, you know, the extra price, like more than 20,000 euros or dollars more for the 8-cylinder. Of course, the 8-cylinder is fun to drive, yes, but the 6-cylinder also brings less weight and has also good performance and, as I said, better economy. So, and then if you think about the extra price, and also that only in the 450 at the moment you can get the 3-color Artico seats from Works, I think the choice is quite clear then that the 6-cylinder is the more clever choice.
And now to our conclusion for today with the Mercedes GLS in this new generation. A more elegant and sporty look, I think, here, definitely with the new headlamps and so on. Stronger front grille even. And the interior massively updated with this infotainment system. This is a big step forward and great luxury features indeed. The voice input is one of the best on the market, besides this Android automotive system now used in the Polestar 2. And, you know, maybe in here and there a little bit better than the BMW. Some features they have that BMW doesn't have, and also vice versa. Also great as for the massage seats, for example. Definitely, if you compare inline 6 versus the V8, the inline 6-cylinder is 20k cheaper and also is available then in the US with the 3-color Artico seats, so black, beige or brown. So that's a massive advantage, and also then the economy advantage that you get about 8 miles per gallon more, or about 4 liters and 100 kilometers less. So the V8 was fun to drive, also quite nice in the sound, but the 6-cylinder, of course, the more reasonable choice, and it still is way than enough power for this vehicle, although it is big. It has so much comfort, air suspension, a great carpet-alike ride, but not shaking too much, and therefore you also do not need the additional curve function. So this e-active body control, it's a, you know, very cost-intensive extra, and it's not really worth it to me. Just enjoy the normal air suspension and that's it. Also the 6-seater setup I found actually the coolest, because the kids will have so much fun going in the rear and then going straight, you know, through the middle tunnel to the rear. This will, you know, this will be something to enjoy all the time. It's also the standard configuration in the US, so as it stands then here right now on the inside, a really nice choice, and definitely. And this color here, the beige color, is also available in the Artico for the GLS 450. A very impressive, comfortable vehicle. To me, also more comfortable than the big luxury sedans. And with this MBUX generation, to me, also still very well to use in comparison to what Mercedes is doing with the all-new S-Class. So, what do you think here about the Mercedes GLS? Leave us your opinion in the comments, and also compare, for example, BMW X7 review or other Mercedes SUV reviews. See you there.